On this week's episode of the Best of Johnston County Podcast, our guest is Chris Smith, one of the operators of Smith Nursery on Sanders Road in the McGee's Crossroads area. We talked to Chris about his time growing up in Johnston County, the different services that Smith Nursery provides, from wholesale to retail to ice cream to field trips, and where he sees Smith Nursery going in the future and how you and your family can enjoy this beautiful farm. So listen in.
Welcome to another episode of Best of Johnston County, brought to you by Breeden Law Office. Our host, Jonathan Breeden, an experienced family lawyer with a deep connection to the community, is ready to take you on a journey through the area that he has called home for over 20 years. Whether it's a deep dive into the love locals have for the county or unraveling the complexities of family law, Best of Johnston County presents an authentic slice of this unique community.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Best of Johnston County Podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Breeden, and on today's episode, we have Chris Smith, one of the operators of Smith Nursery right here in Johnston County. One of my favorite places to go. I love the pumpkins and the ice cream and the goat. Anyway, we're going to talk to him a little bit about what they're doing there at Smith Nursery. They are completely back from the fire at Father's Day of 2024. They've expanded their retail operations, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, the different things that they grow, the different things that they do, and why he loves Johnston County as much as I do. So, but before we get to that, we'd like to ask you to like, follow, and subscribe to this podcast wherever you're seeing it, whether it be on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, X, TikTok, Instagram, or any of the other social media channels of the Best of Johnston County Podcast. The Best of Johnston County Podcast comes out every single Monday and has now for over 2.5 years. So go back and listen to some of the previous episodes. We've had the vast majority of the county commissioners. We've had now Congressman Brad Knott. We had Woody Bailey talking about IT services, Tim Sims, dentistry. We had Just Dog People. We had Michael Solar just a few weeks ago talking about how to train your dog, Blue Line Canine. If you love Johnston County as much as I do, this is the podcast for you. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
I didn't call you the owner.
No.
You said don't do that because your dad and your brother. I didn't call you the owner. Yeah. I said you're one of the operators.
That's right. That's fair. That's fair.
You don't even have a title. You just do whatever needs to be done.
That's pretty much true. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell the audience who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Chris Smith, and I work at Smith Nursery. That's my family's business. My dad started the nursery in 1980, and I grew up in Johnston County, been here all my life. And at the nursery, we grow woody ornamental plants. That'd be like your shrubs, bushes, stuff like that for your landscape. And we grow strawberries, blueberries, greenhouse tomatoes, greenhouse cucumbers, and we do agritourism. We work with school groups and stuff like that. So a little bit of everything.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Well, let's start with the wholesale side because, I guess that's where it started.
Sure.
And so you sell to, can I just show up and buy a shrub, or do I have to be a professional landscaper?
Well, on the wholesale, to get wholesale benefits, you have to be a landscaper or another nursery or a garden center. So, we'll sell to other nurseries like ourselves, and maybe they're going to take that plant that we grow and shift it up into a larger pot, and grow it out, or maybe they're going to re-wholesale it or retail it themselves or something. We'll sell it to garden centers and all across, Raleigh, Durham, different places like that. And we'll sell to landscapers. They're going to install it either at someone's house or in the commercial jobs.
Right. But I can go there and just buy a single shrub or two for my house as well.
Absolutely. That would be on the retail side.
That's on the retail side.
We kind of have both things going on. So at the retail side, what most people would know us as, when you come to the storefront there, what we brand as Smith's Farm Market, we have a selection of shrubs and plants, and we buy in some things that we don't grow, hanging baskets and annuals and things like that. So anyone can walk up and buy whatever plants we have in stock.
Right. And so where is the nursery in the business?
We're McGee's Crossroads. The thing about being from the Cleveland community is it's hard to say where you are.
No, I understand that.
We don't have a township or anything, but
I know where it is, but the people listening. So what's the address?
The address is 443 Sanders Road, and that's, we're about 2 miles away from West Johnston High School.
Yeah. So that's cool. So, all right. So how many acres is the farm? I've always wondered.
Altogether, so my grandfather bought the farm in 1953, and it might maybe 40-ish acres, something like that. But, some of that is wooded and stuff. It's not all in production. So I think nursery production We have a little over 12 acres of nursery production. We have 3 acres of strawberries, probably 2 acres of blueberries, and then we have greenhouses and stuff like that across other.
All right, so you're not growing somewhere else. It's all grown right there at that one location.
Yep.
Okay,
That's
cool,
right.
cool. All right, so when and who got the idea to get into agritourism?
Well, so what's been told to me, so I was younger, so I wasn't a part of the business as much back then, obviously, but we started growing strawberries in 1994, 95, and I was born in 84. So my brother, who's 7 years younger than me, when he was in first grade, I think his first grade teacher asked my parents if they could bring the kids out to the farm and pick strawberries and kind of hear about how strawberries are grown and all that kind of stuff. And so they agreed to it. They came out, they did it. Everybody had a good time, I guess. And then they realized that there was a demand for this. And other teachers maybe reached out, heard that what happened and could we come and stuff like that. So that would have probably been 1998, sometime around there. So that's when we started. And the idea was born from my brother's first grade class.
Oh, how about that? So sort of accidental farm tourism.
Yeah, that's kind of how it started. Yeah. And then we realized that there was something to it.
Right. And so now I know my kids, when they were young at Cleveland Elementary, went to your farm and did the tour or whatever. Mm-hmm. How many field trips are y'all doing every year now? Do you have any idea?
That'd be a question from my wife over there. Well, so I don't know how to answer that exactly, but in April and May during strawberry season, today is April 10th. We had our first field trip today, and we'll have them pretty much every day until about mid-May.
Oh my goodness. So 30 or 40.
Yeah. So then a lot of times it'll be multiple in a day. Like there'll be multiple schools come the same day. And then in the fall also, September and October, we do field trips with Hayrides and everybody gets a pumpkin and stuff like that. So
y'all charge for that?
150 classes.
150 classes. Yeah. Golly, that's wild.
So,
y'all charge for these field trips?
Yeah. So there's a charge per student. In the spring they come, they get to pick up a quart of strawberries. They get to feed the animals. A staff member will lead them around. They talk to them about the farm. They talk to them about the strawberry life cycle. They have a station. They have different stations. One station, they talk about honeybees and their role in pollination and everything that goes on inside of a beehive. And they let them look inside of a hive that's not active or anything. There's no bees in it, but they let them see what it's like. They let them taste honey. They go see the chickens and the animals and get to feed them. And there's a charge per kid, but all that's included in the charge, and then the parents can come along, no charge.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, that's great that y'all do that. What other, I mean, I know it's strawberry season is sort of mid-April to June 1st, and you have pick your own strawberries, right?
That's right, yeah. Which says pretty much true. We say it's, about April 10th or so is what we advertise most of the time. Is about when it starts. This year we started picking at the end of March. Seems like every year it's a little bit earlier and earlier. So, but that goes from say 1st of April till 1st of June. And we have pick your own blueberries that starts maybe second week of May and goes through the end of July. And then in the fall, we do hayrides and pumpkins, and that's kind of like a mid-September till Halloween.
Okay, well, cool, right. And I've done the hayride and the pumpkins and all that stuff when my kids were smaller. So that's a ton of fun. And so you also have a store. What do you sell in the store?
At the store, so in addition to like our garden center plants and strawberries and produce, I guess I should add with the produce, we grow greenhouse tomatoes. So this time of year, a lot of people love a fresh tomato, in the summer, and you can't get a fresh tomato in April or May. It's too early. So we plant them back in November, and by end of February, we're picking tomatoes. So you can come to our store and buy fresh tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, cucumbers, salad mix, basil, all that we grow on the farm. And then we buy local produce that we don't grow, squash, zucchini, corn, stuff that we're not growing. We'll find from other local farmers and offer it there. We offer fresh baked breads, milk, eggs. We have chickens on our farm, honey, jams and jelly, all kinds of stuff like that. And then we've recently opened our own bakery. So we bake our banana breads, pound cakes, all kinds of sweets and cookies and stuff that is really good.
Well, now I'm hungry. So where do you do the baking?
Right there on the farm. And our barn that burned down a couple of years ago, when we rebuilt it, we actually put in a commercial kitchen in the barn. So probably last October or so is when we started baking out of there. And like I said, it was the breads, and then they even do stuff like chicken pot pies, chicken pastry, all that kind of stuff. Right.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I know you have honey.
Yeah.
I bought honey there before.
That's right.
And you have your own beehives.
We have our own hives. Me and my wife used to help do the hives kind of ourselves some, and I got stung and had a bad reaction to them, so we no longer do that. But there's a man named Ron Lassiter that's a native Johnston County guy, and he comes and he keeps bees all over the county, but he helps manage our hives and has some of his own hives there. But there's probably a total of 15 or 16 beehives on our property, and they help pollinate our blueberries and strawberries and other crops. And then the benefit is we get honey from our own property.
Yeah. Well, let's talk some about the animals, because some of the animals that I remember when I was there 7 or 8 years ago are still there. The goat, I think his name is Bandit. Yeah. He's still there. How old is that goat?
I don't know. He might be 15 years old, something like that. Yeah, he's been around.
Why is he always on top? Is it goats need to be up high? Because I've never been there and him not been on top of whatever containers that he's got there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not an animal expert, but goats like to climb. And we've built like a bridge, a little makeshift swinging bridge, and they'll climb that bridge and cross it. And they like to climb. I don't know why, but
I got you. Well, and there's some pigs.
Yeah, we have 3 pigs. Altogether, we probably have 3 pigs, maybe 4 goats, 2 sheep, a donkey, maybe 30 chickens, and a cow.
Yeah, there used to be a horse. But you told me when we sat down before we started taping, the horse is no longer there.
It's no longer with us. But yeah, she lived probably to be 22-ish, something like that.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So why did you choose not to replace the horse?
Well, we just hadn't yet, but that's not a definitive thing. That might happen in the future, but just hadn't yet.
I got you.
Have family law questions? Need guidance to navigate legal challenges? The compassionate team at Breeden Law Office is here to help. Visit us at www.breedenfirm.com for practical advice, resources, or to book a consultation. Remember, when life gets messy, you don't have to face it alone.
Well, tell me a little bit about, and I asked you this before we sat down, so I'm going to ask you this on the thing. If I have a child or kids, do I have to buy a ticket to go see the animals or pet the goats or whatever? Like, can I just go out there while it's open 9 to 5, 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and just go see the animals?
Yeah, you can. There's no ticket or anything like that. We don't charge an entry fee into our farm. So you can come in, you can check in at the store. We offer animal feed for $1 a bag, but there's no charge to go just check out the animals and see them. If you want to feed them, you can get a bag of feed for $1, walk down there and check them out. And that's during business hours is ideal. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool. I mean, I didn't know that because, there's no charge to just go see the animals. And you can pick your own strawberries in the spring, pick your own blueberries in the summer, pick your own pumpkin in the fall.
That's right.
Also in the fall, you do like a fall, it's almost like a big festival. You got some games going on. You got Hayrides. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, we always do like a kickoff to the fall open house, and so we'll offer things that we're making in our bakery, for samples and stuff like that. We might have a couple of vendors out there. We do Hayrides, but all fall long on the weekends, not just like an opening time or anything. We offer Hayrides to the public. So, in addition to like school groups coming out and doing Hayrides during the week, on the weekends, anybody, you and your family or you by yourself, if you wanted to, could come out there and take Hayrides, take you around the farm, drop you off at the animals and the pumpkin patch and do all that, and they'll pick you back up and take you back to the store.
It was fun. I did that. I hate that I was telling you earlier that my kids, they got too old. And now I need to find somebody else's kids so I can go out there and feed the goat and take your hayride. And
you can do it by yourself.
Pick a pumpkin. Yeah, I probably should. I probably should do that myself, even though my kids are too old for that now, because I look forward to that every single year. And we probably did it 3 or 4 years in a row, and then they just got too old and they're too cool for it now. I think you said your son's now too cool for it too. So
I have a 13-year-old and a 7-year-old. And my 13-year-old is a little too cool for school.
Right, too cool for school. I understand that. But one of the things that I did not know, and we talk about this, y'all are open. It's pretty much year round now. It used to, it shut down about Halloween, and then it would reopen at the beginning of March. But now you're open all the way through the winter.
Yeah, we really only take off about 3 weeks right around Christmas and the New Year. It's still seasonal as far as like how busy we are, but as population is growing in this area, there's been enough business to stay open pretty close to year round. And, other times of year when we don't have strawberries or blueberries or pumpkins, we still have produce. If we're not growing it, we're buying it from somewhere local. and we still offer milk and breads and eggs and things like that for people, and house plants and stuff. That's kind of a year-round deal. And we have an ice cream and a coffee shop that you can come to anytime.
Yeah, the ice cream. Golly, I used to really like the ice cream. Is that homemade? What kind of ice cream?
We make our own ice cream. So maybe when you used to come, we used to get it from Mapleview Dairy, a dairy out in Hillsboro. But now we make our own ice cream there. It's all soft serve ice cream now, but we'll use our own strawberries and puree them and make our own strawberry ice cream. It's probably our most popular one. We'll make blueberry ice cream, blackberry ice cream. We try to use fresh fruits either that we're growing or that we can buy local, and even banana ice cream, all kinds of different flavors that we switch up.
Now I'm getting really hungry. So that's great. That's great. No, I remember eating the ice cream and buying the honey when I was there, the times I went. So what's the plan for the future? I know you built the brand new building after the fire 2 years ago. I mean, what's going to happen next with Smith Nursery?
Well, we talk about that kind of stuff a lot, and we have a lot of ideas, but it feels like every season we've kind of added something. Our newest thing, is this bakery that we're working on. And I think right now we need to kind of master what we're doing. We got a lot going on, and we need to kind of be a master of what we're doing right now.
Well, you and the health department are becoming friends if you got a commercial kitchen.
Yeah, that's my wife's deal with the health department. I stay clear of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
So you keep doing what you're doing. But this fall, there's going to be pumpkins. There's going to be hayrides.
Sure.
I don't know. They used to have cornhole out there. Y'all still have those?
We got cornhole boards out there for people to play.
Yeah, throw shucks or something. I remember some of that.
Yeah, there's cornhole, and we got like swing sets and stuff for kids to play around on, and it's a great place for families to come because there's a lot of, your kids can run kind of wild out in the open, and swing set, slides, we got the cornhole boards, take a hayride, see the animals. Kids enjoy, I think. We're kind of geared towards families, I'd say, and young children. I mean, anybody's welcome to come, but that tends to be the crowd that we draw the most. And also, in the off seasons, during strawberry season and during the fall, we're pretty busy. During the other times of years, we're trying to find reasons for people to come see us. So we'll offer workshops and stuff, maybe do like a mixed container workshop where we'll help you build your own like hanging basket or kind of mixed container pot that you can have at your house. Or we've done, cookie decorating classes where they'll make a sugar cookie and they'll, I don't know what you call that. Royal icing.
Okay, well, that's cool.
But a lot of different things like that go on during other times of the year to try to engage with the community. We do a free story time every Thursday where a lot of moms will bring their kids out to us and we'll read a story to the kids. Then they'll do some kind of activity that goes along with the story.
What time is that?
That's usually at 11 o'clock, but it does change throughout the year, kind of depending on the weather. Sometimes if it's too hot, we'll try to do it earlier in the morning. When it turns cool, we'll try to have it later in the afternoon.
Okay.
But you can check our Facebook page.
Facebook page. All right. Yeah. Because you've got a website. So where's the best way to find out about, what's in season, the classes, everything that's going on?
Any of those, our website is smithsnurseryinc.com. And on the website, my wife updates that all the time, and that will have an event calendar. You can either click a shop button on there and see what from the bakery might be offered right now. Sometimes we offer pre-ordered chicken pastry or Brunswick stew or something like that you can shop like that. Those event classes, like I talked about, will be listed there. Things coming up. You can go to our Facebook page, Instagram. Those are updated every day with different things that we put out.
I got you. So what would be your best piece of advice when it comes, because you're in the wholesale nursery business, for people with their shrubs? What are some of the best shrubs for this area, and what is the number one mistake homeowners that don't know anything about growing shrubs like me make?
That's a loaded question. Probably one of the bigger mistakes is planting at the wrong time of year. Best time to plant really is the fall and spring. When you plant in the middle of summer, it's just tough conditions for a plant. When it's 95 degrees outside and we don't get rain for periods of time, that's hard for a plant to adjust. And that's probably the number one thing that I see on someone purchases a plant, doesn't do well, and they're frustrated by it. It's probably when it was planted. The best time to plant will be early spring and fall. As far as what plants do well here, there's a wide variety of plants that will do well here. We have a good growing climate for plants, but obviously natives, if something comes here naturally, then it's going to do well here in your soil types and in our climate.
All right. Well, cool. Well, the last question we ask everybody is, what do you love most about Johnston County?
Oh, man. Well, This is home. This is where I'm from, and the food's great, barbecue. But the people, I mean, this is my family and friends are all here. So,
yeah, it's the people. Most everybody that says we've done well over 100 episodes, and 98% of the people that's when I ask that question say it's the people. That's what I think. That's what Chris Smith thinks. And we'd like to thank Chris Smith from the Smith Nursery on Sanders Road, just down from West Johnston High School, McGee's Crossroads, for being our guest on this week's episode of the Best Johnston County Podcast. As we mentioned earlier, please like, follow, subscribe to this podcast. Give us a 5-star review down below. Tag us in your Instagram stories, Best of Johnston County. Till next time, I'm your host, Jonathan Breeden.
That's the end of today's episode of Best of Johnston County, a show brought to you by the trusted team at Breeden Law Office. We thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to sharing more interesting facets of this community next week. Every story, every viewpoint adds another thread to the rich tapestry of Johnston County. If the legal aspects highlighted raise some questions, help is just around the corner at www.breedenfirm.com.